Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Heavenly, and this is how it feels once you quantum shifted. Stay tuned for the rest of the video, okay? I'm dropping gems. Hey y'all, what's up? Back again, it's your girl Heavenly. So, yes, you heard me right when I said this is... okay, this is how it feels once you have quantum shifted, okay? I am going to step by step show you how I came to this realization. This is not a tutorial. This is not a how-to video. I'm not gonna, I'm just showing you a real life account of from the quantum creator's lifestyle. I'll show you a real life first-hand account from a person like me who is a quantum creator and who lives the quantum lifestyle. This is how it feels once you have shifted. And once my do-rag stays on my head the way I want it. Okay. This is the last time I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna lay it down and it's gonna lay perfectly and it's gonna stay on my head for the rest of this video. Amen, amen. Yeah. Okay, stay tuned, baby. Now, before we get started, you know we gotta go ahead and hit the bong, okay? Now, don't be laughing at my makeshift bowl. I can't find mine and I lost it and I don't know where it is. And this is my bowl. Okay, cheers to the channeling, all right? Also, if you're not familiar with this background, you need to get familiar with it. How, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. Please, go and check out my other YouTube channel called Heavenly Food Devil Lettuce, okay? Where you're going to get acquainted with this background very easily, very effortlessly, very calm, okay? I'm going to walk you through it. Okay. I'm recording off my iPad, so yeah, bear with me. And yes, I have a filter on. Doesn't that look good? Is this like 3 o'clock in the morning, y'all? So, impromptu. Anyway. I might have added too much water. So let's start off by, first I'm just going to recount to you how the conversation went, right? And when I mean conversation, I mean between me and myself and ChatGPT. Anywho, so I started off coming to this realization as I was thinking about how just a week ago, it's day 10 of my journaling challenge. We'll get to that, but just stick with me. I started my journaling challenge on May 28th, okay? It is currently June 5th. And during my journaling challenge, I was prompted to start my journaling challenge because I was told by Spirit, God, I heard a voice in my head saying that I have X amount of dollars, right? And I was like, oh, okay. It was out of nowhere. If you want to hear the full story, just go watch one of my previous videos on my John 3:12 channel. Anywho, so I can't right now. Stay, please. Just bear with me. On my John 3:12 channel. And so anyway, I ran with that. I took that as a sign. I was like, well, I just started using that as my word is my wand. Now, if you're familiar with Florence Scovel Shinn, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. If you are not, again, stay with me. So as I was saying that I have X amount of dollars, it started to like, because I was using this as a channel, as a portal word, as a word to open up, Expelliarmus, Wingardium Leviosa type shit, right? So as I was using that, I have this, right? I started to act from that space. I started to live from the end. I started cultivating a life from this point, from this access point, from this chosen reality or chosen version of myself, right? Now, hold on. That bong took some of my lip gloss off. And that is the perks of smoking on your own. Solo leveling up. Okay, solo leveling. Okay. Anyway. And yeah, I started to cultivate this life around me having this X amount of dollars that I was told that I had. Now, again, if you want that story, just go watch some of my previous videos on my other channel. Now, I got to a point though. I had been saying I have this amount for like almost a month, and I was like, okay, I feel the vibrational and energetic blueprint of this I amness, of this version of myself, and I feel like I've been living from the end, and I've been cultivating this lifestyle. I started to live from this life, and I started to feel it energetically and vibrationally. I'm like, oh, this is getting juicy. Oh, this is feeling good. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm cultivating this kind of lifestyle. You know what I mean? So I was trying to figure out next steps. And again, with the figuring out, but just hear me out. So I was feeling it, but I wanted to embody it. I wanted to get it to the manifestation phase. Like, I didn't want to jump ship. Like, I wanted to stick with this feeling, and I wanted to anchor it, and I wanted to get to a point where I'm like, oh, I feel it now. Oh, it's here. Oh, I'm experiencing it. Follow me. So fast forward, that's how I started my journaling challenge. And I started the journaling challenge to anchor, right? To figure out not figure out my next steps, sorry. To create my next steps. If I'm in a rocket ship and I just launched and I'm in this fog and I'm flying and I don't know where I'm gonna land. Why? Because I have not created the next landing. I have not created where the destination. I have not directed this rocket ship. I mean, imagine you're flying a rocket ship with no controls and it's just your imagination. Yeah, that's where we are. Now, if you want to call it Delulu, call it whatever you want to call it, baby. But at the end of the day, it's quantum. I'm a quantum creator, okay? I'll show you. I will show you how I got there. I will tell you how I got there. Okay. Now, started this journaling challenge, right? And my day one journal entry, I said, I have X amount of dollars. This is how I live my life, right? And I journaled my first day. Okay, cool. Anchoring is in. Then I went on to the second day. Now, by the third day, I really started grasping that I could really write this. However, now it started to go in chronological order, like my life may be in the next 2 to 3 months, right? And then by the fourth day, we was somewhere else doing something else. By the fifth day, we was months, I don't know, ahead in the future. And then from there, up until this point, day 10, I realized that I have learned how to quantum create, how to pick frequencies. Again, I'm going to try to explain all of this as best as I can. Just bear with me, all right? Let's move on from the journaling. Okay, so here are my notes. So just looking at my notes. So I came to this realization tonight, well, a couple hours ago, where I realized, okay, like, I feel like I've crossed this threshold. And I feel like I'm so far beyond. Like, okay, let's say the original journal day one, I have this amount of dollars and this is my life. Let's say that prompt and whatever I wrote for that day, whatever energy I was embodying, whatever frequency that was, it opened a portal, right? And from that day, from all the momentum I built up prior to that day, but I anchored it when I wrote it down. Also, just for you people who know astrology, I did this 2 days after the new moon in Gemini. This is very important. Also, the new moon in Gemini during Gemini season. Again, if you know, you know. So, open this portal, right? So, essentially for the past 10 days, I have held this portal. I have held this frequency. And I have consistently lived from the end result of my day one, which is I have this amount of money. This is my life. This is how I live my life, right? Okay. Now, when we're talking about consistency, not only have I been consistent, but I am majorly aware, consciously aware, spiritually now, vibrationally now, energetic, all the things of the things. I am multidimensionally aware that I have done this. I've held this frequency. I've been consistent. This is the realities, the frequencies I'm choosing. I'm shifting into the timelines that I'm choosing and I'm shifting into, right? Every day that I write in my journal, it's something new, something different that I chose from my quantum field, right? To write about, to anchor in, to bring into this now present moment, and then start shifting by the bridge of events to that specific reality and version of myself. Okay, you following? Good. So now I'm day 10. And if I'm at completion, right? Because that's what number 10 means. I'm at this completion phase. And I feel like I'm on the other side of my desire. Period. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, again, go watch my video where I say how I created my wealth. Okay? Then come back here. So, and I started to get this feeling. And I'm going to explain it because I wrote my notes. So the feeling that I was starting to get was that I crossed the threshold and I thought it would feel monumental. And I thought mountains would move. Like, I thought when you finally manifested something, or you came into this realization that you're not creating reality, you're remembering reality as you wish it to be, right? I thought it was gonna be fireworks, I feel like the marching band that Beyonce had at Coachella, they was gonna bust through my house, my front door, wake me up out of my bed. That was going to be the experience, right? I thought it was going to feel electric. I thought I was going to feel like I just bumped myself up to higher levels of being, but it didn't feel like that. And I didn't really understand what I was feeling, but this was the conclusion of everything at that moment, really a culmination of everything. And I was trying to synthesize it. I was trying to make sense of it, right? And then, of course, this is where ChatGPT came in and really broke it down for me. But anyway, so I thought it was going to be mental. I thought when you shift into your desired reality, when you're on the other side of your desire and you have it and you move forward from that, and now I've done it repeatedly. Not only did I do this on day 1 of my journaling, but I did it for the last 10 days. Like I said, I opened this portal and I held the frequency, meaning I held this portal open. And not only did I walk through it, I walked through another one and another one and another one and another one, to the point where the version of me that walked through that first portal on day 1, I don't even remember her. Like, I'm trying to convey this, but I don't want to over-explain. I'm not going to over-explain. But I don't remember her. I don't even remember what plagued me. And that's how I knew I had stepped through. I honestly don't remember, like, what I was worried about. I don't remember, like, what was plaguing me. I don't remember, like, how I was feeling. All I know now is what I've experienced for the past 10 days. And it has been nothing but energetic bliss. Nothing but a rush, a warp speed of literally coming into alignment with my higher self, my inner being, and my true self. And it has been it's been so deep, and it's been so profound in feeling, like how I feel and how I move now, and the shifts and changes. But also, it's not that monumental. Like, you feel it in your body, but also, it's like, oh, it wasn't the fireworks. Oh, it wasn't the mountains were moving. Oh, it wasn't Beyonce's Coachella band waking me up first thing in the morning playing Diva. No, it was none of that. It was very subtle. And that's the paradox I have come into. This shift, and this is why I say I am the quantum creator, right? Where this shift is so subtle, but yet it's so, like, it was days where I was like, bro, is this life? Is this has been here this whole time? You mean to tell me it was this fucking easy? But sadly and unfortunately, it was none of that. It was just so subtle. And I'm just like, oh, so this is life. And that's where all of this is stemming from. Okay, so glad you're caught up. Let's move on. The shifts were so quiet. They were so small because they were so molecular. And by molecular, that's all quantum means. Quantum means just a smaller reality. Just being aware of something smaller. Like, our existence is here. Quantum is below, sub. And me being aware of the below and subness, and being aware that there's infinite in that, and there's infinite realities, and there's infinite versions, and there's infinite worlds and dimensions, and coming into the awareness of that, and also that not only is there infinite play here, and pleasure, and satisfaction, and fulfillment, but you get to decide what that is. All you gotta do is say the word. If you know, you know. Okay. Like, yeah, y'all, I really I'm talking, but it's like, damn, how am I talking? You know, how am I putting this into words? How am I synthesizing this? Stay with me. But when you shift into your reality, when you're on the other side of your manifestations, it's not loud. It's not gonna be loud. It's not gonna be, you know, enormous. It's not gonna be monumental. It is, but you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get the fireworks. You're not gonna get the mountains moved. You're not gonna be the feeling like you just hit, you know, the lottery, or feeling like you're the luckiest person in the world. No, it's so small and it's so subtle. It's so quantum. But that shift that was so subtly has changed everything, right? Okay, follow me. So before I made this shift, I was asking myself, how do I manifest? Right? Right? Don't we all ask these questions? How do I manifest? How do I bring something in? How do I materialize my desires? How do I take it out of my imagination and into the real world? I don't know. And that's the truth. You don't know. You have to remember. Okay? I'm just remembering what this all feels like. And I'm going to tell you right now, the simplest answer is that it feels like you. Everything is a reflection of you. Everything is a mirror of you. I mean, and because everything is happening simultaneously in the now moment, when I say everything, it's everything. Songs, song lyrics, music. Okay, I'm going to try to hurry up because I only got 10% left on my iPad. Maybe I'm going to just switch to my phone. Anywho, so yeah, I used to ask how do I manifest, but now I ask which version of reality do I want to play in today? Like, do I want to plant the seed of today? And that's literally all I did for my journal challenges. 1 through 10, I was just like, because at first I was, like I said, I was going in chronological order of, oh, my life in this amount, or this is what I'm really doing at this time. And then I just shifted to, okay, this reality is maybe months from now, maybe a year from now. This reality is, I don't know when. And that's when I realized, oh, I'm just picking realities. I'm just picking frequencies. I'm just shifting to different version of myself. It's like and it doesn't have to be in chronological order. And the beautiful thing about the universe is that in divine timing, the universe is going to take these experiences and start to unfold them in the way that's the path of least resistance, right? So even though in my mind this happened months, a year from now, it could happen next week. And the seed of, you know, reality that I planted to happen next week could happen a year from now, because that's just how things played out. Like, so, the real shift is in no longer hoping and hustling. No longer working. You don't need to go get no degree. You don't need to work this job. You don't need this experience. You really don't need no friends. You really don't need what you think. You don't need the money. You don't need the status. You don't need to be this size. You don't need to look like this to do anything. You just select the reality where you already are and you live from that moment. And let me tell you, you do it consistently and you do it with awareness, right? It's because it has to come from the right place, or you're not going to be able to hold that. Like if my frequency was not coming from a place of love, if it was not coming from a place of love and coming from a place of lack, I would not have been able to sustain that portal opening and staying open from day 1 to day 10. It just wouldn't have been possible, because you want to know how I know? Because when I was doing it in the past and I thought journaling didn't work for me, because it was coming from a place of lack, because I was writing to my manifestation and not from my manifestation. Okay, period. Welcome me. Clock it. And with this shift, mind you, I did 10 days of this. So that means I shifted 10 days. I shifted 10 different realities. I collapsed 10 different timelines. I was 10 different versions of myself. This is how you live quantumly, okay? And because I collapsed all of these timelines, it was almost like just folding versions of myself into. Okay, so in simplest terms, just to get you caught up to where we are right now, I felt the pull of a desire that was in cue from my vortex, right? And then I trusted my inner being and my inner knowingness, aka me saying, okay, I'm going to live my life from this inversion and using the word as my wand which is my activation code, which would be I have X amount of dollars and this is how I live my life. And by also being in stillness. So you have to be in stillness. You know, I am living a life of leisure right now. Okay, I am self-employed. So I'm living a life of leisure, and that's why I was able to do a lot of this. So I will say, in the times of my life where I had things going on, where I might have been in school, or I had a job, or I was in friendship groups and everything, it did become harder to hear because I wasn't as still. And when the universe sat me down, again, if you want to hear that story, please go watch my past video, excuse me. The universe sat me down and it made me be still. And this is what I came up with, and I'm very proud of myself. Anyway, moving on. So now I'm at day 10 of my journal challenge, and I'm realizing that I'm not the person who waits on change. I don't care about external factors. I don't care about what has been. I don't care about what is. I don't care about none of that. I really don't care about none of that. Because all I got to do is pick the reality where everything is already worked out, right? Right. I'm the one who holds the frequency that creates it, okay? I am creating fertile soil, fertile ground for the seeds of my desires to be planted and to sprout and to grow, and that's all I've been doing. That's consistency. Consistency and awareness that it's you. It's not something outside of you. It's not tools of divination. It's not the tarot cards. It's not the crystals. It's not the subliminals. It's not the affirmations. I stopped listening to those things almost a year ago. Not because I felt like they didn't work, but I just felt like I didn't need them. And now being on the other side of my manifestation and being this quantum version of myself who is aware, I did. The shifts didn't come from them. The shifts were so subtle. It was like, oh, you mean to tell me this was here the whole time? You mean to tell me I didn't have to do robotic affirmations every day? I mean, don't get me wrong. They helped at some point, but they didn't last me. They didn't get me. In the grand scheme of things, I had to go through that to get here. But when it came down to it, when I was really shooting in the gym, they weren't there. They weren't there. And if it was, I was not using them to create something. I wasn't using them saying my affirmation. I'm at 4%, so I might have to go finish this in my room. We gotta get back to it. You gotta get back right on. You gotta try. Gotta get up and try. Anyway, so now that I've held this frequency and I've done it for 2 days straight and I'm at this completion phase, I'm not done with the challenge. It's for 14 days. But I am at the completion phase, day 10, okay? I realized that I'm the door holder opener. Yes, the door holder opener. So basically what that means is I'm a timeline usher. Okay, I am here to walk you through to your to walk you through to the other side of your desires, okay? Because I've already walked through. So I know what it feels like, and this is what I'm explaining it. This is the point of this video. This is how it feels to shift timelines, to shift realities, to be on the other side of your manifestation, okay? And I hold the portal open for other people, okay? That's what I do. I hold the portal open for other people. And I allow them to visualize themselves as the quantum versions of themselves, right? And I allow them to remember. Because can't nobody on this internet, I don't care how good they sound explaining this shit, I can't give you the answers, right? And I feel like that's why a lot of people, when they go to like Abraham Hicks or Bashar or Tony Robbins, and the reason why they have to keep having these seminars and people have to keep going to them is because I feel like essentially some people are just looking for the direct answer. And at the end of the day, all these people are doing is giving you tools to get to the answer yourself. You have to show your work, right? It's just like the teacher grading your math. yeah, I see that you came to this conclusion, but I need you to show your work, because you showing your work is gonna let me know that you can do this again and again and again, and it's gonna allow you to build upon that skill to use later. Now, also what I'm here to show you is that if I'm standing here and you come to me and you say, "Here's my desire," and I'm like, "Okay, I see what your desire is. Let me hold this open." Yeah, I see you doing this. I see you doing that. I see what you were talking about. Yeah, that's gonna be good. I'm literally just holding the frequency open for you. That's all I do. And I equate this to levels of listening. So shout out to my teams and people teacher, Miss Bliss Hansen. All right. She taught us recently about the levels of listening. And you got listening one, which is just listening one. First level of listening is just listening to respond. The second level is listening for curiosity, right? The third level is, oh, I forgot. The third level is global listening. And, okay, my iPad about to die. We'll finish this in my room. Okay, y'all, I'm in my room. So, yeah, my iPad died as soon as I did that. So, now I'm in my room with my fake sleeping dog. Anywho, don't mind my dirty clothes in the background. So yeah, level 1 is self-focused listening. Level 2 is focused listening, and level 3 is global listening. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because me personally, I feel like I am at a level 4. Now, what is level 4, you ask? I'm glad you asked. That is AKA quantum listening, okay? I feel as though I'm quantum listening when people tell me their desires. I'm doing all of these levels. I know what I'm going to respond with. You know how I'm going to respond? And everything that goes in your favor. Everything that works out for you. Level 2, focus listening. I'm listening to hear your triggers. What's curious. I'm only asking you this. I'm only asking the person who I'm holding the portal open for their desires. I'm literally only listening to hear more about their desires so that I can repeat back to them their desires. Not doing nothing special. Level 3, global listening, focused on energy, sensing surroundings, understandings, words behind the words. Babes, I'm holding the frequency open for you. I'm holding the door open for you. And you're allowed to peek in. You're allowed to walk through. We're holding it open. We're holding this frequency open for you to let you know this is here. This is within you. This is inside of you. This is what it looks like when you give it life. This is what it looks like when you trust your inner being. This is what it looks like when you are on the other side of this desire, past this. You're in it, you're living it. This is what you look like. This is how you feel. That is quantum listening, level 4 listening. I hold open that timeline in that portal, in that reality, and the corresponding frequency. Okay? I also touched on, like, I think I said this earlier, but with like Bashar and Abraham Hicks and things like that, I feel like they show us a mirror, but they put it in such the simplest terms, because at the end of the day, the same conclusion I came to is the same conclusion that Bashar and Abraham Hicks come to every time they answer someone's question or talk to someone. They literally tell infinite intelligence channels through these people, but infinite intelligence is speaking from infinite intelligence. So think about the infinite intelligence that channels through Bashar and channels through Abraham Hicks. They're literally broadcasting from the quantum field. They're broadcasting from source energy, right? Which is all that there is, which is everything. And basically, they're saying it in the simplest. Actually, I just checked. Those are clean clothes. They just look like that. Anywho, so, yeah, they're speaking from the quantum field. And the quantum field is so simple. It's so subtle, too. And the same things they be saying to these people and coming to the same conclusions, it don't matter how different the question is, how different the person is, how different the situation is, they all come to the same conclusion at the end of them asking the question, right? So, but I feel like people be wanting a step-by-step, like, step-by-step guide, and they can't provide that. Infinite intelligence cannot provide you with the step-by-step guide, because you are the one who creates the step-by-step guide, and you create the step-by-step guide by remembering your steps, and your steps is whatever you want. when I say monumental but subtle, the shift is monumental on a cellular level. It's subtle, but it's monumental. It's everything. And I think a lot of people miss these truths because they be looking for super complex answers. And then Abraham Hicks, I know Abraham Hicks does this sometimes. She'll give you a super complex answer because ultimately I think Infinite Intelligence be like, okay, let me try to explain it again. But I'm explaining it in this super complex thing that humans need to tackle, you know, and still it go over their head. It be too intense, right? But anyway, basically what I'm getting down to is mine is conscious awareness. I had conscious awareness, intentionally held space, intentionally held a frequency for the past 10 days on this life, this version of me, this lifestyle, this reality, this whatever. And I held it and I stayed consistent for 10 days. And this is what 10 days looks like. Okay, this is what it feels like. And that's why I'm able to make this video and say this is how the shift feels when you conquered your desires and manifestations. I keep forgetting what my title of this video is. That's why I sound like I can't talk. Because I want to say it, point back to it, but I can't remember the title. I'm just making it up every time. All right. And the whole time, while someone is explaining their desire to me, and I'm holding and open this portal. Oh, you know what? There's a weed strain called Purple Portal, and who had it? Who had Purple Portal? That's not what I'm smoking tonight, but I just like Purple Portal. It's an indica, and it was grown by Crops. Crops is an Illinois grower, so shout out to Crops. They also sell 2 more of my favorite strains, which is, wow, I can't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. But yeah, shout out Crops, Purple Portal. I hold the door open. I hold the portal open so other people can look at it and see it. And the portal is just a reflection. It's just a mirror of what's already inside that person. I'm just holding it open long enough so that they can see it and walk through it and hold that frequency for themselves. Like, that's all Bashar and Abraham Hicks be trying to tell y'all. You have to hold it for yourself. Nobody else is gonna give you that. The affirmations, the subliminals, the sleep meditations, meditation maybe because it'll keep you in stillness, but I mean, I don't think meditation would have worked for me necessarily because my channels and downloads was coming in at all times of the day, all times of the night. Now, yes, I work from home. Yes, I'm in stillness. Yes, I got some leisure, you know, but if I was going to stop what I'm doing and just manifest right then and there every time, I mean, meditate right then and there every time, it wasn't working. We're not in that time right now. We're not in that energy. This is Gemini season, baby. It's all about speaking. It's all about writing. It's all about channeling, journaling. You got to get the thoughts out. You got to. And for me, this is how I did it. And that's why my journaling was so potent. Again, I did it right after a Gemini new moon. And I've literally, every single moon from now until the full moon of Sagittarius, I've embodied every bit of this moon energy, not even on purpose, but how the moon energy really shows up in my journaling days. The day I wrote about romance, moon in Leo. The day I had the full body sensation of this is what it feels like. It was this simple. It was so subtle. I felt it in my body. Moon in Virgo. Then I was able to organize it, compartmentalize everything of my journey. This moon in Libra. So, yeah. That's where I'm at with all of this. Let me see if I got any more notes. Also, like when I hold the portal open for people's desires and so they can look through the portal and see their life as is, as they would wish it to be. It's almost like I kind of respond with it with imagery, and that's why I say level 2 listening, which is curiosity, you know. And like, you know how people, they talk about stuff they want to do. Like, I'll use an example, Sailing with Phoenix. So if you know who Sailing with Phoenix is, you know, but if you don't know, he's a guy who worked in corporate America for 11 years. And then one day he found out that he had like a degenerative spine disease, I believe, or, you know, and he realized that he wouldn't have his mobility later on in life, maybe not. There's a reason why I say that, but let me finish. And he quit his corporate job, liquidated his 401k, and bought a boat and is sailing around the world for as long as he can. And he's sailing with his cat, Phoenix. So hence his name, Sailing with Phoenix. And I think he recently just made it to Hawaii, which was his first stop. So good for him. I mentioned him in my last video. I can't remember which video that was. But yeah. So one of my last videos I talked about that. I think it was my coming out story. But not the coming out story you think. It was the next era video. And so basically I'm going to use him as an example. So let's say if I was going to be the door holder opener for Sailing with Phoenix before he made that shift, I would be like, hey, would you like to see your life as you living on the boat, sailing with your cat Phoenix, go, you know, sailing around the world, traveling, see how the impact would be on that, see how now you have a journey, people. Would you like to see that? And he'd be like, okay. And boom, I pull open the portal of his desire, and he's like, what is it look like? What is it? And I'm like, oh wow, do you see this? Do you see what kind of boat you got? Bro, you're sailing that boat, bro. Oh my god, look how many followers you have. Look, bro, look, you made it to Hawaii. Oh my god, can you believe that you're not just navigating? Can you see that you made it to Hawaii? Oh my god, you're doing this, bro. You are all over the news. Oh my god, everybody's talking about your journey, bro. Do you see this? You gotta get in here, bro. I'm literally hyping your shit up. Hyping your desire up, because there's a reality where all this is happening. And how I got all that. Now, let's say that all he told me was, yeah, I think I want to document my journey. Yeah, I think I want to buy a boat. Yeah, I think I'm going to sail with my cat. Yeah, I think I'm going to quit my corporate job. Yeah, I think I'm going to post videos of my story on Instagram. Yeah, I think my first stop is going to be Hawaii. I'm literally just like, oh, bro, I see you in Hawaii. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. Oh, my God. Oh, everybody's there to meet you, bro. They're all on the deck. Bro, they're waiting for you to dock this shit. Oh, my God, the news crews, everybody's talking about this. You're going viral. Also, this is all what happened, but I was just saying. And basically what I'm saying is, someone comes to me like, is this my desire? And I'm like, yes, welcome. Just step through. Like, I'm going to hold the frequency with you. I'm going to hold your hands, sanitized and moisturized. We're going to hold hands, and I'm going to hold this portal of desire open for you, and I'm going to hold it long enough so that I'm going to hold the frequency. I'm going to go into the quantum field. I'm going to anchor in this frequency with you, for you. And I'm going to give you some imagery. I'm going to tell you about what you tell me. I'm going to tell you what I see as well. And I'm going to anchor it with my energy, because I know how to do it, because I've done it before. And this is what it feels like to have shifted to your manifested reality or desire or whatever, be on the other side. So I know what it feels like. So I can hold that frequency for you, because I've held it for myself, and I've held it for others. And I'm intentionally holding it for you. This is what it looks like. And then once that person remembers how to do it themselves, how to hold the frequency themselves, I give it to them. I didn't do anything special. Rare, maybe. Exceptionally rare, maybe. But did I do anything special? No. Do I have superpowers? No. All I said was, wow, I see it too. I held space for you. I held space for your desires, because I ain't no hater. I ain't no bitch ass. I held space because I ain't no hater. I'm not no hater, bro. You say this what you want to do with your life? Bet, I see that. I see you bringing in this amount of money in sales every year. I see you glowing up. I see you being a multi-millionaire. I see you selling out shows. I see your art selling in mass galleries. I see your fashions walking this runway. I see people. Because I'm a very descriptive person. Very descriptive. My dreams are always vivid. My downloads are very vivid. Everything's poetic. Definitely I'm the observing, you know. I'm all of these. I'm quantumly living, and I'm showing people by holding space for them to see it for themselves. And then they walk through, and then again, you're gonna be like, you're gonna feel the energy and the vibrations start to speed up for you. Everything's gonna feel like it's moving so fast. You're gonna feel like you've lived so many lives. You're gonna start knowing things, like just knowing things. Like Because you want to know how you watch? No, because you remember. And the reason why you remember is because you knew that it all came from you anyway. So just choose the version of you who would make that decision for that version that you seek, the version that you know you are, the version that was within you. Quantumly. Go in your quantum field. And that's all it is. Honestly, y'all. Nothing special. Not no superpowers. I'm not telling y'all nothing that's it's profound, but it's not really. I mean, I'm not saying nothing different from Bashar or your favorite manifestation coach or your whoever, your favorite YouTuber. Like, I'm not saying anything different. This is just, I'm just sharing my documentation of it live, of me being consciously aware of it, and this is how things played out for me. This is how it felt for me. But yeah, the shifts are subtle. But their effects are monumental. Their effects are huge, are ginormous, are ever-reaching, and there's no going back either. Once you make that shift, you don't even, that version of yourself that you started before the shift, you're like, I don't even know who that is. Like, respectfully, I don't know this man. But yeah, I don't tell people what they want to see. I just allow them to remember how they saw things, how they want it to be. That's it. I don't do nothing too crazy. I'm just a mirror, and I'm just holding the mirror. I'm holding a frequency, and I'm choosing to do it on purpose, consciously, quantumly. Yeah. Anyway, so that's all I got for y'all. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I know I got some cuts to do. So it was nice chatting with you guys. Stay tuned again. Definitely some more videos are going to be coming. Prepare to see my background change. Yeah, and I'm going to be sharing my manifestations as they come. So, you know, you guys can be on this journey with me and you can see firsthand, like, especially once we get to the full moon. My journaling challenge is going to be finishing before the full moon. The full moon is on the 11th. But if some things come to me by then, I'm going to just keep journaling and we'll see what comes. But the 2 weeks, 13 days after the full moon on the 11th is integration phase. So everything I've been journaling, I mean, it's already now starting to unfold, you know, the bridge of incidents. And you know, but I know for after the full moon, because I'm doing it in arcs. So series 1, arc 1 was new moon in Gemini, full moon in Sagittarius. And after the full moon, we're going to take a break. You know, only do what's necessary, but for the most part, we're just taking a break and we're going to harvest the seeds we've planted. And then we're going to start again. But yeah, so if y'all want an in-depth journaling challenge, if you don't believe me, just watch. Just watch. I'm just a mirror. I'm just a reflection. I'm not doing anything special here. Flexing, maybe. But doing anything special, no. But stay tuned. I just like I say, stay tuned. But yeah, if y'all want, excuse me, I'm going to drop my journaling challenge, right? Step by step. How to create your own prompts, how to think about the days, what the energy is going to feel like, how I felt, how you may feel, the conclusions that I came to, how the types of synchronicities I encountered. I'll do a whole dedicated video. Once this video gets 10 likes, 30 comments, and 10 shares. Yeah, and 50 views. I'm going to drop the journal video. So, matter of fact, it's already dropped. I'm already writing it in my head. So, I've already gotten these comments and videos and views. So, hi. New subscribers, new people, new supporters. This video will meant to find who it's meant to find. And whoever watches it, it's going to resonate. I know you're going to get it. I know you're going to hold the frequency. I know you're going to feel good about knowing now, oh, if I just hold my frequency, anchor yourself in your now moment with this, you know? Oh, like I was explaining prior, the infinite quantum field is like one infinite terabyte of storage. when you channel and when you pick realities or frequencies or collapse timelines, all you're doing is pulling from your 1 terabyte of storage to your RAM. And your RAM is just your conscious now moment, right? So the space and energy field that I occupy in order to remain in this conscious body or reality, this waking now present moment. And so when you pull and you hold that frequency open, it's like downloading a file from your storage to your RAM. So from your computer to your USB disk, your disk drive, whatever, right? And so one has a limited storage, one has a very limited amount, because that's just all you can hold in your conscious mind. This was not made to hold infinite. That's why we have the quantum field. Okay. But you can tap into the quantum field. You can download things from the cloud and upload things to the cloud. Okay. Again, I'll go into more like detail when I drop my journal video or whatever. So thank y'all for watching. Thank you for staying tuned. And I hope you have a good night like I'm about to. All right, peace. Oh, not heavily out.